E, why were you doing schools free in New Orleans? I'm testing the gift in the laboratory. I give it away free. Why? Because there are no real measurements, or you're not going to trip on me if I came to your school for free. But if I charge you 50 grand and I come in and messed up, you are going to be highly upset. So I do free. Why? Because free gives me an opportunity to take each theory that I have and practice in the schools. And then after I do it 5, 10, 15 times, then when I do it for 50 grand, I have mastered it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So you see me in schools and you're not doing schools for free. You cannot change my recipe. You cannot make it what you want to make it. If you say you admire me and you look up to me and you want to do what I do, you have to follow the blueprint as we give it to you. You cannot do it like you want to do it. G, C's most important one, self-assess. Last one. I don't know who's coming up. Last one. Narrow it down to one lane. How many lanes? How many lanes? Own that lane. Do what? So this one is own your lane. All right, write down your lane. Okay, you can write down your lanes if you want. You got multiple lanes, but give me the lane that is your primary lane, and then write down that is the lane for the next year that I'm going to concentrate on. All right, we're going to stay in that lane. We're going to own that lane. Now, if you're in a community with other people like a CJ or a Carl, I let them own the lane that they're highest in. So if there's a lane that you're fairly good in, but you don't dominate in that lane, you leave that lane to somebody else. All right, I've got an NBA player that I'm doing this test with who's having some off the court challenges. I'm working with this young man to help him get to the next level. I had a C this morning that I pulled to the side and I explained to her what I needed to do. He's a high C, I don't speak his language, and she's gonna write a document for me in a high C language, and I'm gonna give him that document. Why? Because I'm not going to try to do something that I cannot do just because I can. Write that down. Write that down. This is my last one. You got to catch this one. Do not do what you can do because you can do it. Only do what you are gifted to do. Not putting your nose in stuff because you can. Only put your nose in stuff that you know if you touch it, you're the best person to touch it. Am I clear? I'm going to say that again. I'm about to get off. Am I clear? Just because you the CEO, just because you the president, just because you the mama, just because you the daddy, just because you the pastor, just because you sweet on the team, it does not give you the right to stick your nose in areas where it's not your superpower. If I have a villain that's flying, I'm not bringing Batman to the fight because he don't fly. I'm bringing Superman because some kind of way he can stop in midair and throw them blows. Batman need a I'm like, bruh, you're doing the most, bruh. That's not really flying. You can't be doing that. I'm not playing. You think I'm playing. There are those of you in this room, because you have authority, you are overusing your authority. And you sticking your nose in places that you have no business sticking your nose. You stick your nose into game changers. Game changers. I'm the #1 motivational speaker in the world. Game changers. Am I there telling y'all how to get to the next level in terms of your speaking? No. Who's doing it? CJ. Why? Because that's what CJ took me from a 3 to a 10. That's his. I'm the #1 motor. I could be like, Chief, what move? I'm the speaker, bro. I'm the one on YouTube. You let me tell him what to do to get here. That's not my business. That's not my lane. My lane is speaking, not training people on how to speak. Just because I'm sweet at it don't mean I know how to train you on it. Just because I know how to do it don't mean I can tell you how to do it. So we leave the man who's responsible. Raise your hand. You like, yo, E, for real. That's for me right there. I do stick my nose and stuff. I ain't got no business sticking my nose in it. Let me see your hand. Just be real. You know who you are. Look, write that down right now. I just gave you $1 million. Get your note. And you know what the problem is? Self-esteem. You know what the problem is? Self-esteem. You got to put your nose in it because you want to be able to say you touched it and had something to do with it. If you're not sweet at it, get your butt out the way. Why? Because if I get my butt in CJ way, I'm going to taint. I'm going to add water to some sweet juice. Get your butt out of there. Only let the people who are gifted at it do what they do. Get out of the way. And that's what I learned from Nick Saban. Nick Saban got the right people in the right seats doing exactly what they're supposed to do, and everybody else, get your butt out the way. And Coach Locks just left Alabama, y'all. He was with Alabama for a few years, working right next to Nick Saban. Picked up that playbook, picked up that culture. He with Maryland now. Why? Because he was with Nick Saban and he saw what Nick Saban was doing and he came to Maryland and he's doing the exact same thing. You do exactly what CJ tell you. Boom, thank God it's Monday. You do exactly what CJ tell you. Boom, Toby, get twisted Sundays.